Hello and good evening, everybody in YouTube land. It's a London thing. It's a brand new thing, and here's a new intro for it too. So let's get rolling. Good evening to everybody in YouTube land. Welcome to It's a London thing. It's a brand new thing, and hopefully it'll be a very special thing. I have with me a very esteemed panel. To my right, I have the one and only Early Doors Tony TV, obviously represents the West Ham. Below me, I've got the Spurs Van Helsing, the Arsenal Slayer, and all the other nicknames that goes rolling with him, depending on how well you know him and how much you like him. We have the one and only Deji Spurs, and of course, to my bottom far right, we've got a legend, the one, the only. We all know him as Arsenal. We all know him as the Godfather, even though he doesn't like it, but we all respect him. And it's good old Jez. How are you, sirs? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, all good. All good.
All good. All good, mate.
Sweet. Now, the little purpose of this gathering, because I'm the one who organised it, is about getting real news from the real clubs and obviously from the real fans, because I was talking with this with Tony the other day. There are many cities in the world, but there is none more competitive when it comes to football than London. Half the teams in the Premier League are from London. So it's a very, very, very competitive city. And I thought if we just put our noggins together, we can all come out with what's what. And I'm going to start with my esteemed co-host to the right of me at Early Doors TV. Have you got any good news or transfer news to be sharing with us? Because you guys signed a player today, didn't you?
We did indeed, yeah. Young Lewis Gilhern from Palmeiras. So apparently it's a done deal, 25 million. Plus they've also added into that a 20% sell-on clause, a 5-year deal for this 18-year-old Brazilian.
Wow.
So all ready for going for tomorrow, basically. So looking forward to that.
We'll say, have you got any idea if he's just going to be a bedded-in youngster like they all are, or what's the plan with him, Tone? Do you know?
Well, they've signed him. It's going to be a 5-year contract they've signed him on. So if you look at it, it's a case of are we going to give him the chance? You don't know with Lopetegui. If it was Moyes, then no chance. He'd be loaned out straight off. Lopetegui, we might see a different thing going on here. With time to be sold. Apparently, he's going to be introduced into the friendlies in July, so hopefully we'll see a bit more about him.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other big transfer news to come out of you guys recently? Because you guys are like us. You guys have already started to do bits and pieces.
Yeah. Well, we looked at that Francesco Bruno, didn't we, from Flamenco? But apparently we weren't willing to pay over the odds for him, and apparently he wanted extortionate wages, which we weren't going to go with. But a twister came with that a couple of days ago. They reckon they may go back in with an improved offer, but I can't see it myself. He's already said he's the reason why he didn't join us.
Fair enough. Deji, my bro, what are you saying?
About the West Ham transfer or about Spurs?
No, about Spurs, because obviously you did a video today on Romero. So obviously explain to them, the beautiful people, what it was all about, because obviously you got quite a busy channel. You got an active channel where there's always people listening to what you say, shall we say?
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not shaking my bum violently for my club, but Romero's. Well, Romero's been linked with Real Madrid, and rightly so. A lot of people try to banter me and compare him with Saliba. The thing is, they're not the same. And I think I made the right comparison earlier. I think he's more of a Sergio Ramos type. He's reckless, he's hard, he's a hard man. And Real Madrid have been missing a Sergio Ramos type defender. And I think Romero is the rightful heir. And in terms of kind of transfer windows, I think my club, out of everyone on the panel, has to be taken the most serious, because we aren't playing any games. I can look at everyone on the panel.
Explain that, because we've already made a signing as well, and it was for free. So get into more detail about what you just said. Why are you guys the most serious?
I think we're the most serious because we are serious about what we want to do this summer. So first and foremost, we're actively getting rid of the dead wood. there's about 10. And I think we showed our kahunas this week by actually terminating the contract of Ndombele. And when I look across North London, there's several players that need their contracts terminated, but they're holding that for 20, 30 mil. Also, I reckon we're going to be getting in Eze, and we're going to be bringing in Ivan Toney. And I think that's a major statement to London. Toney at Spurs, I think, can do a job. He's no Harry Kane. No, of course not. But in terms of his hold-up play, Tottenham was missing a hold-up player, someone who can hold and bring players in. Toney does that. And for me, Eze is the rightful heir to Son's throne, because Son will be 33 this season. And I think Eze is a big, big game player. The thing that would have really finished off the jigsaw puzzle is if we brought in Elise as well. If we brought in Elise, then it really is game, set, and match. I don't play chess, but I'd be that is checkmate, because that is the front three that we need to kick on and really, really cause some havoc this season. But Eze and Toney look poised to be coming to my club. And if we get those two signings over the line, I think everyone takes Spurs seriously.
Can I just ask one question? Are you not worried about Ivan Toney if you guys decide to go for it? Because one thing I want to know, he was shocking back end of last season. He was. Like, we can't dress it up. He was awful.
He was out for about 8 months prior to that with all the kind of gambling malarkey. But the season before, he did get 20 plus goals at Brentford. I mean, anyone that can get, let's be real, one thing we know is that Spurs will create more chances than Brentford. And if you can score 20 plus for Brentford, you can score 20 plus for my club. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
How much do you reckon you're going to end up forking out for him, though? Because originally it was all stated they wanted like 100. They can't ask 100 million now.
No, we wanted to spend 40 mil, and I thought that would have been good business. I've been shut down on that this evening.
No, bro, come on. I know you. Be realistic. Like, they're not going to charge you 40 M's for that.
Yeah, I mean, they came out today to say 60 mil, we should hush our gums. I reckon Spurs hold out for 55, 58 mil for Ivan Toney. He's not going to smash we're not smashing the Spurs transfer record.
They can't force that. No, they can't.
I think 55 mil, 58 mil would be stupid not to do that type of business. I mean, he's a proven Premier League goal scorer, and a lot of the problems with a lot of the other teams is you're going out to get unproven players. Spurs going into Europe to buy a striker over the last 10, 15 years has been an absolute disaster. I don't want to see anyone from Europe coming to my club simply because they're untried, they're untested waters. So I want someone who's proven, Prem proven, and Ivan Toney is Prem proven.
All right, on that, wouldn't you say? I'm going to ask all three of you this. Do you think people are missing a trick with Ollie Watkins? Do you think someone should try and buy him off of Villa?
Who's going to get him? He's not going to leave Villa now because they're on the up. Yeah. Ollie Watkins would leave Villa if they crash out of the Champions League and they don't finish top 4. Then it's a legitimate. I think you can put him. And I think Ollie Watkins would do a job at Arsenal. He would do a fantastic job at Spurs, and he would do obviously a killer job at West Ham or Chelsea. To be honest, he can play for any of our teams. But
good Antonio replacement for West Ham. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. But fun enough, I mean, Deji's saying about Toney and that, and you know, there's also the rumor that we're also linked to going for him, and that, as well as you know, Tammy Abrahams as well.
Oh, that's a good point. Tam. I always thought we should go back in for him because we kind of he was doing a job for us. He got 15 goals, and then we sold him to bring in Lukaku, and it was kind of like, what in the F are you doing? You know what I mean? It's just like you got rid of it because this is the thing I don't understand. Do you remember back in the day when we used to pride ourselves in how our homegrown players? Do you remember that? Where they used to be the most prized commodity your club could have, particularly if they were good. And it's nowadays, it's just they used to balance the books, man. It's awful. And on that, it brings me to Jez, because one thing I will say, that with all the Benjamin Sisko links, Jez, right? Give me your thoughts on that story, because I'm not being funny. I actually think the whole thing was a farce. It was just one of the most ridiculous things I ever. He's close to Arsenal. He's close to. He's staying at RB Leipzig. It's kind of like, I don't know if they knew which way to try and spin it to get clicks or whatever in like. But give me your take on it. Would you have wanted to see him at your club?
No. But at the end of the day, it's exactly as you've just said it. There's a lot of people out there that make up all this bullshit for likes and clicks and get themselves out there. You know, we've got stupid journos at Arsenal that talk absolute bullshit and then get caught out. And then then you've got also certain big channels that the football terrorists, and then they
I was just about to say football terrorists. Excuse me.
they suddenly drop the tweet. You know what I'm saying? It's just bullshit. I'm not having any of it. I've always said, right, I've seen this way too many times. Yeah. I'm not going to celebrate any player coming to Arsenal until I see him in a bloody Arsenal shirt at the Emirates. Yeah. Signing a contract, whatever you want to do it, or having their photograph with Win the dog, because that seems to be the big thing now. So, I don't listen to any of it. I'll be honest with you, I don't. And I don't listen to any of these shows that talk about this player coming in, that player coming in. Yeah, the fact remains, we've got to get rid of some players. Yeah, we've got an awful lot of crap. So we've got to get rid of some. And I'm not seeing the ones that I want to going anytime soon. So, the talk out there now is that we don't need a striker. We got Havertz. He can play at 9.
Well,
trust me, you can't rely on Havertz. Trust me.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the talk now.
I really hope
shaking his head. Like, even he's doing that.
So now this club, man, Arsenal Football Club, is an absolute shit show joke.
So is mine.
Well,
Jez,
go on.
Would it be fair to say, and this ain't banter, because you not needing the striker, would it be fair to say Arsenal's more Spursy than Spurs?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because it's obvious. I was saying at the beginning of last season, Arsenal need a striker to do something. Everyone said, well, Man City won the league without a striker. And I was like, well, you're not Man City. Do you know what I mean? And I don't see Martinelli and Saka getting 20 plus goals. That's what I said. And I was shut down. Like I was a madman. In fact, that's when I coined people coined the phrase delusional dead. I don't know how much delusion I do have after seeing what happened last season, but it is. I just feel like Arsenal, you can see as fans, even as rival fans, you can see what Arsenal need to do. It's pretty simple. Why don't you just go out and do it?
Exactly. I totally agree with you. It's just an absolute shit show, man. The club is run by deluded idiots who haven't got a Scooby-Doo what they're doing. Yeah, and I've no faith in us getting the right players in at all. I can tell you the players I think we need. We need a proper striker. We need a backup centre midfielder, and we need another backup right in our defence. Will we do it? No. Why don't we go in for Elise? You mentioned him, Deji. You mentioned him.
Yeah.
I absolutely rate that guy. I absolutely rate him.
Yeah, he's a big
right.
player.
Arsenal should be looking at him. Why don't Arsenal try and go and get Ollie Watkins?
Yeah. See, that was my point. Like, because Ollie's sitting and no one's even remotely trying to tempt Villa in trying to sell him. That's the thing.
They're on the up, that's why.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? Like,
it's worth a go, because what are we going to do then? Stick with Havertz at 9, and the backup is
your defense is in trouble. Your defense is in trouble.
Backup is Nketiah. God Almighty!
Eddie Murphy and Nketiah.
Haven't we? Right, he couldn't get a game in the last 11 games of the season, so I think that just about sums it all up. What Arteta thinks about him. So why is he not looking to get him out the door pretty damn quick? We're in the window opens officially, I believe, tomorrow. I think.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
So let's get business done early, people. No, Arsenal love to leave it right until death. Yeah. Why? What they trying to do? Make it exciting for the Arsenal fans? Get out of it. No. Because it's more important, people, to bring out a fluffy little toy, yeah, being sold at stupid amounts of money, yeah, by Arsenal Football Club. Win the dog. Get out of it. What is this? What we part of the RSPCA now? Yeah, they donating that money to the RSPCA.
Who knows?
Shit show, man. It's a joke of a club. Yeah, we'll be selling dog bowls next. Yeah,
You can get the plushy toy, win the dog, £25.
that's a
Comes in a lovely little box as well, Jez.
come on, man. Come on.
I win. I want to be your friend. Sorry.
Just hope that Arsenal have the decency, right? Yeah, the decency to donate at least half that money to a charity for animals. Because if they don't, then they're a bloody disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on disgraces, that brings me to my next point, and this is why I asked you about the Benjamin Sisko thing, right? And this is something I'm going to ask Jez first, and I'm going to go back around a lot of you. With the Sisko snub, right, like on Chelsea and Arsenal, so I'm not pointing fingers. These guys know I'm not trying to banter them or like pull their legs or anything. I'm just asking straight questions. It's like, does that show now that this maybe isn't the best league in the world? Does it show that people can say no to the money if they think it's smart to? Because one thing about this is the one thing, and I know for a fact the older football fans would appreciate this. Has the Premier League lost the ability to develop players properly?
I think it's a point.
Jez.
I think it's more than that. If you want my opinion, it's more than that.
That's why I asked you, mate.
I have to say that I think these players may look at the manager and say, not sure I want to go and play for him. Is my career going to develop? Let's be fair. Let's be honest. And I've asked this on my show many times. You tell me one player that Mikel Arteta has improved.
Oh, that's true, actually. I agree with you.
What player has come to Arsenal and gone on to bigger and better things? We got rid of Kieran Tierney, right? He's
ruined him. You ruined him.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
You know,
Alabama Young.
Martinelli's gone backwards. He's not the player he was last season. Not the season before, 22-23, in my opinion, right? Saka, I think, is regressed.
Yep.
Yeah. Ramsdale's coming out the door.
Smith Rowe's moulded into the bushes in the back.
I feel so sorry for Smith Rowe, you know, because he was a talented boy as well. And it's just
He's still a talented boy.
He is. But
duty, right? These players, right, when they're on international duty, yeah, they all talk to each other. They're all mates, whether they're playing for Chelsea, whether they're playing for Spurs, West Ham, Man United, Man City, whoever, right? They talk, right? And if you've got somebody like Sisko, right, yeah, at RB Leipzig, and somebody says, nah, you don't go to fucking Arsenal, mate. You don't want to go there. Stay where you are. Wait for some bigger to come in for you. I'm just saying, that's my view, you know, because when we got in the Champions League, people, right, I'm going to remind everybody of this, yeah, the talk was we'll attract world-class players. Well, where's the world-class players we've attracted? I ain't seen any.
That's true. Arsenal fans were promised that 2 seasons ago. And that's one
seen
thing.
I've seen
man. And the biggest money you spent was on Kyle Havertz. I told Tony and some other Arsenal fans at the beginning that he will always let you down in the big situations. And it's a shame because it's one thing. The thing is, when you look at the 65 spent on Kyle Havertz, you look at Willock. How much did Madison get bought by Spurs again? 40 mil, wasn't it?
45 mil.
And Amrabat was going to get bought for Man United for about, what was it, 27?
Was it 27 mil?
Yeah. If they made the loan permanent, but I don't think they did because Ten Hag's another guy I think that ruins players, by the way. But Man United's another story, and it's not of no interest to me right now.
I just wanted to add to Jez's point. No banter, and I just had a stream, and I called it pulling power. I think Arsenal don't have the pulling power they thought they had. Let's look at it logically. Yeah,
totally
is a up and coming striker in world football. He's been offered to Arsenal, arguably the closest team to City, in the number 9 role in a team that hasn't got a number 9. So he's guaranteed to start. He's going to start Eder Jesus and Nketiah. Let's be sure we know that. And they're going to offer him more money. Tick, tick, and tick. I'm just saying, why doesn't he go to Arsenal? He goes to Arsenal because he's like, I don't think it's not sexy enough. It's not attractive enough.
Okay.
He would rather stay at Leipzig. He would rather stay there and weigh up his options after. If he has another great season, he wants to know whether City are going to come in. He wants to know whether Juventus are going to come in, Real Madrid. It must be that, because why would you say no to a up and coming powerhouse unless you think that maybe they're not up and coming anymore? Maybe he thinks Arsenal run out of steam. It's a point I made, not being funny. To finish second 2 seasons in a row is hard work. What it does to you mentally and physically, it's hard to get it up again. And I've been saying that it's not their fault. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. So for me, players like, I look at Arsenal, even though I banter Arsenal all the time. I remember Bergkamp. I remember Vieira. I remember Henry, Overmars. When Arsenal were linked with players, they were linked with winners. They were linked with people that you're like, oh, bloody hell, they've got this person, we're done for. Even Aubameyang, I was like, bloody hell, I loved Aubameyang. I would have at the time, if Tottenham lost Kane, Aubameyang has to be the replacement for me because he was that good. And then Arsenal these days are bringing in Jorginho. They're bringing in Havertz. They're bringing in McQuinnus. They're bringing in Vieira. They're bringing in players, and you're just thinking it's quite underwhelming. And then you've got players like Sesko and the other fella at Bologna, literally turning up their nose at Arsenal Football Club. It's a disgrace.
Wait. Hang on. Yeah. I hear what you're saying, but just to flip logic, though, like you said about not sexy enough, and this goes back to what you were saying about Romero earlier, but does that not show that Tottenham is still a selling club and not an ambitious club? Yeah,
no, it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to use common sense. If Real Madrid are stupid enough to offer us 100 mil for Romero, it's called good business.
Yeah. I know this is a stupid offer, but you know what I'm saying about it? Because don't get me wrong, I appreciate what you're saying about the sexy side of it, about you want a project to be appealing. And I can appreciate where you come from when you say about looking at Arteta, the salty beef incident, I'm not even sure I wanted the job, etc. It's just the one thing I really feel for Arsenal fans on that in particular front, because you've got a guy that looks like he's half-assed anyway, and then when it comes to, he doesn't even listen to the fans. He doesn't take note of what the fans say. He seems to be very stuck up in his approach. He doesn't adapt. Like it's
in Postecoglou.
No. Yeah. Well, Ange. No, well, the thing is, on you guys, like because they say, it's always harder your second season. It depends, man, because one thing about Ange is, and he has a similar problem to Arteta in the sense of he doesn't adapt that much tactically.
Yeah, but I think that he doesn't need to. So the issues that Spurs had this season, I'll tell you why. So Postecoglou is similar in vein to Pep, not in terms of coaching ability, but in terms of
coach. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and his thing is all about, if I embed my style of play, people will struggle. So you know what we're going to do, but you're going to struggle. And people did struggle for a bit. The issue that Postecoglou had this season is we had a lot of injuries, but also he has a lot of players that don't know how to play his system. But I think a good indicator of what Spurs can do is that Man City game that we lost. That first half, Man City looked absolutely rattled. They didn't know what to do. And we just ran out of steam. Now, things that we learned a lot. I call it always test and learn. Van der Ven, I managed the football team, and albeit it was grassroots. Sometimes you've got an idea of what you like. You have a bias. I like big and strong. Some managers like fast. Some managers like techie. Yeah. He looked at Van der Ven and Romero and said, I can't split them up. That's why he went with Ben Davies. That's why he went with Emerson Royale, because he's like, I need them to be at centre back. He was then forced into playing Van der Ven out on the left. And all of a sudden, we've learned something new. We've learned that Van de Ven is potential left back cover should we need it moving forward. That's something we've just learned. That means if we had the same injury crisis like we had this season, and we've got Arsenal, and there's a choice between Van de Ven and Ben Davies, he's going to play Van de Ven. If he's got a choice up against Liverpool's Mo Salah with Emerson Royale and Van de Ven, he's going to do Van de Ven. And that might be the difference with Spurs getting a point or even 3 points. And that's what we learned. And guess what? The bloody Dutch national team have gone and taken that little masterstroke. And against Canada this week or last week, Van de Ven was, guess what? On the left-hand side, doing a Gareth Bell as they slapped up Canada 4-0. So I'm just saying, with the right players, Postecoglou's system is hard to stop. And it's been hard to stop everywhere he's been. But I'm finishing fifth with that Spurs team. It's pretty impressive. Banter aside, it is bloody good.
Well, hang on. I got 2 questions for both of you, actually, you and Jez. Hang on. Before I ask Deji's question, I'm going to quickly flip back to Jez. Jez, I've had Aaron say that maybe Mikel Arteta has improved Declan Rice and Odegaard. Would you agree with that?
Oh, well. It's a very good question.
It is fair to be fair. That's why I mentioned it.
Declan Rice, no. I think Declan Rice came in right with hit the ground running anyway. He was levels.
Mm-hmm.
Odegaard, questionable, but maybe. But I wouldn't say he's improved his consistency.
No.
He can play very well in one game and then he can disappear in another. But yes, I would agree. He has got better, but not to the levels that other managers we've had have improved players, namely George Graham and Arsene Wenger. They were 2 managers that could actually make a huge difference in players.
Mm-hmm. Look at Fabregas.
Henry wasn't here long enough, so we can't include him in it. But in the 5 years that Arteta's been here, I have to question that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, on the Declan Rice thing, I just add on to that one. What Arteta's done with Declan Rice, he's given him more freedom to do something. Whereas with Moyes, had him more defensive and pushing on him every now and then. Arteta's given him more freedom to actually push up on the pitch. That's the only reason. And as Jess said, Declan Rice was already a ready-made product.
Well, can I ask you that? Yeah. As an Ammers fan, do you see the different Declan Rice than what you guys had, or do you just do the same? He's just given.
No, like I said, I think because he's been given more freedom. Because of that, I wouldn't say it's come from Arteta. That's actually Rice himself that's actually kind of basically pushed on himself because of that. Because he knew for West Ham he had to do a certain job. Now with Arsenal, he doesn't have to worry about doing certain things because the defence is pretty solid. Ours was obviously quite leaky, so there's a big difference in that respects. Plus the fact he's got cover with Odegaard, Partey when he was playing. There's the difference. So Rice has got more freedom. That's the only reason. But there was no improvement from Rice in that respects.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. On the Partey thing, it's funny that Tony mentioned Partey because what's the future for him? And I'm not being funny. I wouldn't mind taking him off your hands if you're looking to get rid of Thomas Partey because that's a position we did experience in kind of quick. So I'm not being funny. If you want, we'll trade your Broya for that Thomas Partey, and we'll take him off your hands.
No, I like Partey. He's decent,
smart man. Yeah, he is
decent, proper decent player, mate. He makes such a difference. He's shooting shit, but he's quality midfielder. And he made him and when Odegaard and Rice, the games they've played when Partey came back from the supposed injury saga, right? He made such a big difference, in my opinion.
He did.
I don't want him going out the door anytime soon.
That's a partnership you guys should have had a lot sooner. To be honest, it was kind of like the one we all expected, but it just never happened. Not for a very long time. Deji, would you agree with this statement? Romero screams Woodgate to Madrid.
No. I
mean, what's your answer to that?
I've been watching Aaron in the comments, and Aaron, that's absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful behaviour from you, because this is a nice panel. We have a nice banter, and you're trying to spoil the fun. No, just kidding. No, Romero is. I think what I don't like is people over criticising Romero. Yes, he was a bit rash in the last couple of seasons. You've got to remember he was the best defender in Serie A. And actually, by his own standards, he didn't have a bad season last season. We just play a ridiculously high line, and our midfield didn't provide any cover. Bissouma was a disgrace, and every other player we played in the number 6 was a disgrace. Had we had Partey or Declan, that doesn't bloody happen in terms of our defence, and it's something that Koglu needs to look at. I liken Romero to Sergio Ramos. I really do. I really think he's always going to get red cards. He's going to lose his head. But I think you want a hard nut in your team. And, one guy, someone joked about the other day, Sean talked about the fact that this guy pretty much in the Arsenal game was playing up front. He helped bring back the fight back a little bit. So that sort of player is worth his weight in gold. And actually, some people have argued that maybe it'd be interesting to see him play the number 6, because what Tottenham lacked was a number 6, and I think he could do the job.
Good point.
Well, on the Romero front, I always think that the main reason why you can compare him to Sergio Ramos is because he's a little bit dirty. And I'm not being funny. He's a hothead as well, because I remember we played you guys away to Spurs, and to be honest, it wasn't a 4-1 game, but the way, because of the style, and a lot of them, I don't know, man, you guys just blew up that day. Don't ask me why, but it's weird. It's strange.
We blew up that day because I legitimately think we hate Chelsea more than we hate Arsenal.
Well, let's put it this way: there's no love lost between the three of us as a triangle, because we all hate the other one. It depends really who's doing the well, because we both hated Arsenal because they were doing better than us, because they were in a league title challenge and all that kind of thing.
I think we hate you more because not being funny, but Chelsea literally roll over for Arsenal. It's the most disgraceful thing in world football.
What, like you used to roll over for us at White Hart Lane?
No, we don't roll over. I think we implode. We implode when we play.
Right, okay.
We're so angry. But you literally play Arsenal, and you literally pull down your shorts, and you sit on Arsenal's lap, and you say, "Please beat me, Daddy. Beat me, please beat." And a little to the left, and a little to the right, because the Chelsea do not. I said it before both the last game. I said Chelsea never turn up against Arsenal, and they didn't, and they got slapped 5-0. And then you will turn up against Spurs. It pisses me off, literally. So I think we got some of that going on. And then as for West Ham, they're also a disgrace because against Spurs,
he was so calm a minute ago.
They bloody turn up as well. I went to the game at the London Stadium, and I just knew West Ham were going to give it to Spurs.
Hey, Tony, I want your answer to that one.
You're welcome. That's all I'm going to say. You're welcome.
Well, who do you hate more at Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs? Because I would actually say collectively, we probably all hate Spurs the most.
That's what I'm saying. To be honest, West Ham and Chelsea should not be hating Spurs. I don't know what your problem is. We never cared about you.
I've not said nothing yet, Deji. You know, don't be put in the same mould as this man above you. It's simple as that now. Yeah. At the end of the day, and that it's always Arsenal. My brother-in-law and that bangs on about him left, right, and centre, and it just grates you. Yeah. Every Christmas, I'm around his house and that, and I'm getting the same shite every Christmas. Yeah. So yeah, then it's followed by you guys, then Chelsea. There you go. That's the record set straight now. Bang.
You're welcome. We're grateful for taking half of your youth players about 20 years ago. Anyway,
well, exactly. Yeah.
Glenn Johnson. We love West Ham. Well, on West Ham, right? You guys have got a new manager, and we spoke about this a little bit, right? And now he's been in the job now 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2.5, like something like that. What's the initial signs for him? Do you see the same old shit that you saw from Moisey? Excuse my French, or do you see something different?
I think we're going to see something different. That's for sure. I think the Moyes era is kind of put to bed. I mean, obviously, it kind of. It's basically, if you look at it, we signed this 18-year-old kid first of all straight away, that shows intentions because there's a long-term plan in that respect. 5-year contract for that kid. So that kind of shows you the intentions from the manager itself. Jury's still out on Lopetegui because obviously we know the history with him at Wolves. But at the same point, I think we're going to see a different style of football being played by West Ham under Lopetegui.
And and what would you like to see under him then? Like, what would you hope he brings?
Not so defensive, that's for sure. I mean, we want to see a bit more of attacking football being played. You know, don't get me wrong, Moyes had his moments, but there's times where he kind of basically got it wrong 100%. But with Lopetegui now, we've got a chance of seeing a bit more of attacking style of football, which will obviously suit the likes of Bowen, Kudos, you know, even if he's still going to be around, Paqueta, Ward-Prowse, etc. So that's going to be good. And if this youngster's going to take part, then, you know, we're going to see what he's going to do as well.
Well, can I ask you a question? Like, as a West Ham fan, because I'm not going to actually, your squad in certain areas is quite big and it's got some talented players in it. What do you believe should be the aim for next season? More Europe?
Yeah, get back to Europe again.
No,
I'm loving Deji.
All right. What was with that look there though, Dej? Because you did kind of look at him and say this guy's making a joke. Like,
do you know what it is? You know, Tony is a great person, and I love.
You're
Tony.
about to slate him, aren't you?
No, I'll say this. You know, last season West Ham was one of the dustiest teams I've ever seen in my life. I mean, dusty. I mean, it was a disgrace. The game against
2024, it's a season we want to forget. 23 weren't bad.
It was terrible football.
Still one more.
But this geezer that's come in is Moyes 2.0. Tony's trying to be nice about it.
Whoa! Wait, why did you say he's Moyes 2? That's a bit strong.
Mate, he is Conte on steroids, mate. They are going to be defending for their lives. And the thing is, the only reason why Tony is sounding remotely optimistic is because they've gone out to Brazil and they've offered an 18-year-old who's untested a 5-year contract. That could be a disaster in the making, to be honest with you. So I'm not convinced. But West Ham, under this manager, is dusty. And I don't think he's progressed. Had you brought in a De Zerbi now, then I think you could be licking your lips and be getting excited. But I think it's more of that defensive display. And it's a shame because you got some good players, Paqueta, Bowen, do you know what I mean? Kudos. They don't deserve to play that fossil football. But yeah, I don't see Chelsea. I don't see West Ham changing their style of play because also you don't have the players as well. You've got a lot of hard nuts in there. A lot of quite stiff, tall, strong guys. I mean, I'm looking at Zuma and Supek. They're some of the stiffest guys I've ever seen.
Well, Zuma, yeah, I could agree on Zuma, that's for sure. You know.
Yeah, Zuma's like a big. He's a stiff dude. Yeah, like
they're stiff. Like these guys are a bunch of warriors. This West Ham team, bloody barbarians from the Colosseum, but. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen his football before, and I'm not so optimistic. He's more defensive than he's not an attacker though. He doesn't attack. He's counter-attacking football. So it's Moyes.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So it's Moyes.
But there is a little bit difference. He does defend. Don't get me wrong. I know he defends, but there's also attacking with him as well. There is a little bit of attack in there.
Okay,
a little bit. I'm not saying.
I hope so for West Ham's sake because. I watched the West Ham fan base clap some dreadful football. I mean, to be honest, they were in the stadiums and they were scratching their head. And you know your team is not playing good football when everyone is having a conversation amongst themselves. And that's what it was at the London Stadium. Everyone was having a chat. Some people was talking about what they were doing, you know, what sort of patio design they were going to get in their front lawn. And when you're talking about your patio, you know the game is pretty dreadful. So I hope for the West Ham fan base that Tony and for you as well, because you're a good mate, that you can that we'll see some positive football. Because I actually think West Ham fans would take a lower finish in the league, but more exciting football. I think even if West Ham had got Champions League football, they still would have sacked Moyes because it was that bad. It was that bad. So
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
was. They only what? They didn't even win a game. You guys haven't won a game in 2024, have you? West Ham, or have you?
What was the next question? Sorry.
See, yeah, there you go. Not even won a game in 2024. There you go.
No, yeah.
It's peak. Oh, but then again, hang on.
2024 was pants. I mean, like, yeah, there's no denying that it was some poor football. But yeah.
Well, on that,
Is that right? You didn't actually win one game in 2020.
No, I'm sure we did. I think we had a draw.
I'm saying, he's got to go check. Look, I'm sure we did, but don't nail me down to it.
Yeah, well, I've got to look at, you know.
Happy. Where's Happy when you need
Happy,
it?
she gave me the information.
Did you guys win a game in 2024?
that is mad. Did West Ham not win a game? I swear they did. Because I lost. Didn't I lose a bet? I lost. They did because I lost the bet.
They beat Spurs, no? Didn't they beat Spurs?
I lost the bet to Lawless because I actually betted him.
We beat Luton.
A 50 quid bet.
Well, hey.
We beat Luton. What else is there?
He's got to think about it.
Yeah, we did a good game against Chelsea. Drew.
You got slapped 5-0, didn't you? The second half of the
Leverkusen.
You beat United, Man United.
Beat Wolves. Drew 1-0 with what was that team down in North London? One with the bird on the ball thing. Spurs.
The bird on the ball.
That's funny.
That was funny. Hey, Deji, remember?
Drew 1-0 with Aston Villa.
So you didn't win it. Any of these wins, just out of curiosity.
Well, there's been some wins in there as well.
Wait. Excuse me. Okay, this is no delusional comments or anything like that. He's been a gent so far, so please, everyone in the chat, keep it respectful because, like, I'm hosting this thing and I will block people if they start getting rude for no reason. Please keep it respectful.
Beat Brentford 4-2.
Oh, so you did win a game. Okay.
Yeah, no, I lost money, so I know they won this year because I bet Lawless 6 that West Ham wouldn't win in 6 games, and they managed to get a cheeky win against Brentford. Bloody hell, I would have won some money there. But prior to that, they hadn't won a game in like forever. Like,
it was a long time, and considering we all went to our phones to check it, that's how bad it was. So. Deji's right. In terms of the football was very, 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 very bad. And Tony is a very honest guy. We all know that. But I'm going to flip it to Tony now. What's your opinion on Spurs? Because obviously, they always say it's harder second time around. You've been a manager as well, right? Do you think a lot of people will cotton to what Ange Postecoglou's doing and expose him? Or do you reckon with better quality players, they'll have a better chance?
I mean, when you look at when Kane was sold and then Ange came in, I was thinking to myself, well, he's going to have an hard job here because basically it's an old side, and really, where they're going to play? Who's going to actually shine for him? But give him his dues. He actually got the team playing well. But I agree with what you're saying there, though, Wolfie, is the fact of was it a one-season wonder? Because already you're seeing people kind of saying Ange out because he's not doing well. You know,
is that true, people saying Ange out?
It's not that they're saying what it is that there's some Spurs fans who were frustrated in the fact that he didn't adapt the team, and I think that is a legitimate point. There were some games where you just don't need to be so gung-ho with your approach. You could have just sat back and chilled. He didn't. They got pissed for that. But I think also there's a reason why he did that, which is that he's trying to embed his style of play in the team. And the more you compromise, the longer it takes. So he's trying to get the DNA of his football embedded into my club as quickly as he can. And then it's a matter of just changing the players. And so for that, I agree. And I think people get too excited. Before the season started, hadn't given the geezer a prayer. I was happy with better football and finishing 8th because he came, no disrespect, from the Japanese, Australian and the Scottish leagues. I'm thinking, no, not being funny, but the Prem is the Prem. And you've been playing in leagues which is not Prem level. And he took Tottenham to 5th. I mean, come on. It's bloody brilliant.
Well, on that, Tony, do you think people will clock that?
I think if he doesn't adapt the style, then yeah, they're going to clock it quite easy. Because there's only a couple of players that you can say that really, shine for Spurs. There's not many at the moment. And I think Deji, you probably agree. You need a few more additions to kind of
100%.
elevate the club. Because at the moment, like I said, getting it out for the last season, I don't think you're going to get the same with this season. So I think you're going to struggle in certain respects unless you bring some quality in.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, Jezza, there's a question for you. Do you believe that Mikel Arteta has improved Gabriel or Ben White? Now, Gabriel, I'm going to say this on my bit. I think he's still the same player, but he just has a mistake in him now and then. Ben White, Jez, what's your thoughts on Mr. Ben White?
Well, Ben White, he's improved him by taking him out, playing him as a centre back, and putting him out on the as a right back, because he was shit as a centre back. He was pony, so that's an improvement. Yeah, has he improved him as a player? I wouldn't say so, really. He is what he is. As for Gabriel has made him step off players, because it used to be the problem with Gabriel. He was got way too close to players. He gets spun too easily, whereas he now stands back a little bit. So if that's Arteta doing that, then I'd say yes. But was it doing in that? Was it Arteta doing that? I'm not convinced. I think that's more likely to be one of the defence coaches has got him to do that. But I can't argue the point because I don't know. But Ben White was absolutely useless at centre back. Costas. He stuck him out as right back, and he's a lot better player that's his natural position for me. And although, start of last season, didn't play him, and we'd rather have Thomas Partey play there. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. Because that is just laughable. Mr. Gunner's just joined your chat, mate. So, yeah, no.
Oh, big up Lee.
Big up Lee.
We got Mr. Lee Gunner in the building.
Yeah,
like
big up
and
Lee.
subscribe to the Lee man. Hopefully he's hit his 100k bar now. Big up Mr. Lee Gunner.
Good point, Lee. Maybe Arteta was the reason Gabriel was a bozo to begin with. Yeah, I mean, well,
Lee, mate, it could be spot on. Could be.
But the fact is, I still maintain what I've said earlier. I don't see any great significant improvement in any player at Arsenal. And I'll just make this comment. Tell me what youth players he's brought through and improved.
Well, this is what just. Well, here you go. And I'll ask Lee if you're still listening. Lee, would you agree or disagree that Mikel Arteta has improved certain players? And big up, man. It's good to see you on one of my streams. Big up, brother. I hope you're well. I will, says DJ Crane, a little late to party. Hello, gents.
Big up, DJ.
Christopher Ward. Ange hasn't won everywhere. He's gone back and give him time. Do you reckon that's true? Did you give him a bit of time?
Yeah, I'm giving him time, and I'm giving him as much time as Arsenal's given Arteta. And I've
5 years.
I've rolled out the 5-year plan, and if you want to hear my 5-year plan, I'll quickly tell you.
Oh, go on, then.
So for this season, we got to finish top 4. It's as simple as. Remember, Arteta won the FA Cup halfway through a season that Unai was in charge. And I'm convinced it was the foundations that Unai left that got the FA Cup over the line. Since then, Arsenal have not come close, apart from maybe in the league, to winning a trophy. So on that note, if Arsenal can give Arteta the amount of time they've given him, which is 4.5 years and counting, that means next season Spurs finish top 4 because Arsenal fans are happy. The majority of the Arsenal fan base is shaking their bum because they're in second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on that note, the season after, Spurs must finish 3rd. Then after that, we finish 2nd. And then 27-28, we must win the league. We don't need to win a trophy in that 5-year plan. But if we pick up a trophy along the way, it's like running the London Marathon and us taking a swig of water and a sponge with some water on it and squeezing it on our forehead. If you feel like you want it and you want to take it, great. But if you want to carry on running, keep running.
Run, Forrest, run!
What's that?
I said, run, Forrest. Sorry, Jez, go on.
You're not in a process, are you?
Look, we are, man.
Process. Oh, God, pause. Oh, no!
Unfortunately, my club's in the process, and I don't. And the yardstick I'm using is the Arsenal yardstick. If it's good enough for Arsenal, then it's good enough for my
If it's
club.
good enough for
So you're saying, Deji, that basically Spurs have become arsey?
Arsenal, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be, because you know what?
Become
A
arsey,
lot of Arsenal fans are happy with what their club is doing. They are happy. They're like,
Deji, there's an awful lot as well, mate, that aren't.
Hang on,
Yeah.
hang on. Lee
Don't
says,
fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap.
no, I hear that, but the way Arsenal fans have been shaking their bum violently, I see the abuse that you get, Jez. I see the abuse Lee gets, Northside gets, and it's really quite funny. They're like, I've had people message me saying, "What the hell are those two talking about?" Arteta is doing a great job. He's going to win the league for my club. And then it doesn't help when Arteta comes out and chats rubbish himself. So,
yes,
for me, under normal circumstances, what I just read out, what I just listed out to you would not be good enough. But Arsenal have done it, and for some of their fan base, they feel like they're reaping the rewards. So, who am I to say that can't happen to my club?
Well, on Mr. Lee Gunner's commentary, he says Gabriel has only improved Saliba because he's the perfect type of player. Next to him, White has also improved, but again, he's not a centre back. Other than that, I'm struggling to find anyone else that Arteta has improved. Well, hang on, Lee, didn't you say that he got the best out of Kai Havertz? That was it? You said you unlocked him. This is not a criticism. This is a question. Do you think he got more out of Kai Havertz, or is he just still the same shit player that you guys got from us? Only a question. I'm not digging anybody out. And on this, like, just out of curiosity, like, would anyone else okay, this is coming to question now because we're talking more specifically about managers. Has Arsenal, as a process right now, the 700 odd mil deep, they've Arteta's been there close to 5 years. Have they been successful? Would you say they've improved? And I'll start off with Tony. Have Arsenal improved?
Well, they haven't been successful, have they? Because they're not one. If you look at it, you've got a manager that's one off of a previous manager, won a dinner plate, but
dinner plate.
That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. You can't. Success is winning something, and they've not done that. And as you know, they may finish second.
Big up Lee for that. Exactly. Why are we the benchmark and we don't win?
Yeah, I saw that comment. Yeah, it was a great comment. I mean, but when you look at it, if you finish second, who remembers second?
Exactly.
So this is the thing. So when you look at it, have they, got success? No. Have they improved the last 2 seasons? Yes, they have, and that's all you can say about them. That's the honest truth.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine in 15 years asking people who came second in 2020, 22, 23, 23, 24? People are going to go,
Yeah.
I've just sent the link, Wolfie, to Lee, and he said if you want him on, mate, he'll come on. So
yeah, sure. If he wants to come on, he's more than welcome to, man. It'd be nice to talk to him. I've never spoken with Lee before, so yeah, Lee, man, if you want to come on, please, more than welcome to. As long as I'm not taking up anyone else's time. Yeah, big up, Steph. If you've just joined us, 1 minute. I've got loads of Jez. I don't know how you do this, man.
Lee, I've sent it to your WhatsApp.
Yeah, because I got a comment chucked at me because I've been making everybody else answer questions. Now I'm gonna answer one myself. Now someone said, Guna Mateta, Poch got you to a final and then sacked him. Well, the thing is, I agree with it. It made little sense and it was stupid. But I think that was a bit of a case of Poch more walking away, because now, if you want to talk about stupidity, why did we sack Tuchel in the first place, for example? Why didn't we keep him? He's a far superior manager than Poch. So obviously, like, was stated earlier, where maybe okay, it seems to be. I'm not digging anyone out, but it seems to be a thing with American owners. It seems to be they want to build up the franchise side of things more than the winning side of things, which we appreciate as fans. And it seems to be the way that they're trying to make the English Premier League a lot like how the American football franchise functions. You know what I mean? It may not even be a transfer soon. It'll be a draft. You know what I mean? But me personally, I think Poch had done enough, considering he was using half a squad for a very, very, very long time. So I kind of feel for Poch on that. But at the same time, it's always been the same at Chelsea. Like, if you fail, you're out the door. What happens to Martinelli? He was the most hopeful of prospect, even ahead of Saka. Well, Jez, would you like to take that one?
Well, I mentioned it earlier. This season, mate, he hasn't been the player he was last season. He seems to have lost a yard of pace. He's not cutting in. He's not cutting in like he used to. So to me, he's regressed. He hasn't improved. Didn't score the goals that he did the year before. So that's not an improvement. That's going backwards. So, yeah, not seeing it myself. And I still question with Arteta what is going on with our youth squad, because we see a couple of them on the bench. We never see them play.
No.
We've had the bullshit one, haven't we? We had that bullshit one with Enweri when he came on against Brentford, youngest ever player in the Premier League. That was a pure piss take against Brentford, because they were like, when they beat us 2-0, yeah, and they said, "Oh, nice." Who's it? Tony said, "Oh, it's nice kick about with the boys." Well, yeah, that cost you, didn't it? But no, sorry, you can't convince me. I've watched this manager for too long. I watched him as a player. He was a decent player. He wasn't great. Yeah, he was a captain at Arsenal, but okay, whatever. But you're not convincing me, people. Sorry. Deji, mate, I feel sorry for you if you're going through a 5-year process, because it's a pretty painful time, I can tell you that.
It is. But you know what? The one thing I will say, though, is if someone says to the Spurs faithful, would you go through a 5-year process if it guarantees you a Premier League? I think we'll bite your hand off and say we'll take it. Because right now, we've not won a league for over, what? Is it 40, 50, 60 years? I don't know. I can't do the maths. And the truth of the matter is, I was saying the other day, either we do this process, or it's very, very plausible that Spurs could hit a century before winning the league. That would be a disgrace. Yeah, 100 years before our next league title. That I'm not having that. Sorry, I'm not waiting that long. Might not even be around that long, in all honesty. So for me, we need a process, and and I think that's why Arsenal fans have been shaking their bums, because you have shown progression. You have progressed. You can't begrudge the fact that he's taking you from 8th to 2nd. It's just that I'm not so sure he's got the capabilities to get it over the line. And I think if Arsenal don't win a major trophy next season, you lose your players, because Saka's got to be asking questions. What's it going to take for me to win a Champions League, Premier League title? He could be gone. Saliba could be gone. You know what I mean? And that's it. Your kind of dynasty that you've created for this cohort gets pulled apart. So it's tricky ground, and to be honest, it's a bit Mourinho-esque. Mourinho going for the Europa League because he knew he couldn't win the league, but he managed to get it over the line. That's what Tottenham are doing. We got do the 5-year plan, get the job done. If Postecoglou doesn't get the job done, one, he loses his job straight away. But also, I have to say to you, I may never see my club win the league, and that is a scary thought. So I will take a 5-year plan. Then no plan.
From the back here.
1961, mate, the year I was born. That's the last time you won the league.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So, we are treading on shaky ground right now.
And he did double that year, and he did do the double. So
yeah.
First team to do it, so respect for that one.
So we still got that. But Yeah, so look, I'll take a 5-year plan if it gets us the league.
Yeah, I put them on the table for you, sir.
Lee's jumping on in a minute, man. Oh, there he is.
he's out here. Welcome,
Yeah.
Mr. Lee
Good.
Gunner, to the stream. Big up, sir. How are you?
Nice shirt.
That's
He's wearing
I
a
like
Real
that.
Madrid top. I just see it. Yeah, he's wearing a Hala Madrid.
Let's
Champions
have
of
that
Europe.
on.
Hala
I've shared,
Madrid.
hopefully more people are coming. Deji, I want to make an apology, because I got my times English and Spanish mixed up, so I missed your show. Because I was doing the Segunda Division, which they play better football than Ange, by the way, and Arteta and West Ham. They play better football than everyone. That was Espanol. But yeah, man, bless up for having me on. Appreciate it. And yeah, the brand new
Welcome,
shirt.
man.
Big up.
It's
Box fresh.
It stinks of success, mate. Yeah.
No, we don't know what that's like recently, bro. Sorry, you'll have to explain what that's
Real
about.
Madrid should actually sue Tottenham for playing in white.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
They just sue him for playing in white. That's my boy Jolien as well for getting me the new shirt. And do you know what's mad? It came out on my birthday, the 5th of June. Bosh. Yeah, proper football club.
Nice.
Well,
I had to do a little double take because I thought that was a Spurs shirt. No, just kidding.
No. This one's proper, mate. This one's proper.
Wait, Lee, I gotta ask you this, man. Was you supporting Spurs against Man City?
No.
Was you twerking like Ola? Because me and you have a mutual friend. I love Ola. He's my guy.
Ola kind of let it slip a little bit, and I brought him back down to earth, innit?
No, yeah, bro. I had to say to him, like, what's this guy on, bro? I'm like, please, man, it's a disgrace. Like, just don't do this to yourself, Ola, man. I love you, man. Like,
No, we don't. Well, listen, I've disassociated myself with that club, bruv. Like, we got proper baller over here, man, like Isco, bruv. Like, we only deal with ballers at this football club. Yeah, they've won a baby treble this season. Yeah, and then what do they do? Oh, we'll go and sign Mbappe. Oh, but the window's not open yet. Well, how do they sign Mbappe then?
Well, free transfer as well.
Yeah, but his contract don't expire for another 16 days. It's gone midnight my time. 30th of June, midnight is a contract. But they've announced it.
Yeah,
they've announced it. So
they know they've got him anyway.
Yeah, come on, elite football club. What are our clubs doing? Yeah, Man City. When Real Madrid did a treble, Barcelona did a treble, because Real Madrid had never done a treble. Do you know that? Ever?
No, they haven't. No.
Barcelona did a treble. What did Real Madrid do? Right, we're going to go and break the world record transfer fee twice in the same window. Kaká, CR7. They brought in Benzema and Xavi Alonso. What did our clubs do when Man City did a treble?
Cool.
You start a nursery. You started a nursery, bro.
You got Timo Werner on loan.
That was Spurs. I ain't no Spurs. Deji, you'll have to explain that because you already know, like, he was a waster at Chelsea. That's my club. But
but what did Chelsea do? You just bought a load of kids.
Bro, we started the Chelsea nursery, bro. The Americans are trying to start a nursery of a
you based it on Epstein Island. It's wild. Like,
no, don't do me like that, bro. First time on my stream, he's already put me 6 feet underground. Like, thank you, Mr. Lee Gunner. Good night.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. We just have to play on words a little bit. It's fine. You won't get done. You won't get done.
No worries.
Jez, Tone, Deji, what did our clubs do? Real talk here. What did our clubs do when Man City went and won a treble? Yeah, nothing. We went and bought Declan Rice. Fair enough. Decent player. Very decent player. Has he improved at Arsenal? Well, he won a trophy in his last season at West Ham. He's won nothing yet. He's been brilliant, apart from when it mattered. Yeah. Apart from when it mattered. Bayern Munich, that guy got absolutely took apart by Goretzka. Goretzka? What?
He's a G, man. He's a beautiful. I love Goretzka, man. Leon.
Against West Ham at the Emirates, he gave a penalty away and had an absolute stinker in that game. However, in the return fixture, he scored a screamer. I can't lie. Yeah, but when it really counted and when it really mattered, did he level up? I don't think so. I like him. I'm not knocking Declan Rice. I think he's had a great season. Yeah. But at the same time, it ain't good enough. We went and bought the German giraffes, the German donkey.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
60 million down the drain. Yeah, 29. Okay, didn't score enough to win us the title again. Okay, cool. And then we bought Urian Timber, who got injured. On the first day of the season, 15 days later, we then out. 15 days after he got injured, we then loaned out the best left back on the planet, mate, Kieran Tierney. Yeah. 15 days after he got injured, we loaned him out, you know. Yeah, what are we doing? Right, Deji, your club, what did you do in the summer?
Yeah, but can I ask a question though about 29? So I was saying to Northside earlier that I'm convinced, because I said I think your club is more Spursy than Spurs. And I'm looking at you and Jez. I think had Arsenal gone and brought a striker in rather than Havertz, you probably win the league. Would you agree with that?
Our club is not Spurs apart from playing white, bro. I don't know. Maybe you should address this to Jez. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. If you just brought in a striker, a gunman, you probably win the league, right? Rather than bringing in Havertz.
Well, the £65 million, but in fairness, I'd say it for the last time. I did say at the start of the season to Lee and Kenny, there's a player in there somewhere. We just got to find him. And towards the last part, we did find him a little bit, right? But yeah, he's not a striker, man. It's the same with bloody Gabriel Jesus. He's not a striker. Yeah, we've all been saying for 3 years we need a proper out-and-out striker. We got rid of Aubameyang, yeah, 24, 25 goals a season man. Haven't replaced him.
Well, on that, and this is the one thing, because a lot of big news, and I'm sure Lee's been digging into it, because I was trying to talk about earlier on being the Premier League being the best league in the world. I know Lee doesn't share that view, like I don't share that view. I want to hear Lee's thoughts on the Benjamin Sisko snub. Is this the great FU to the Premier League or what? Give me your take on that, because he snubbed Arsenal and he snubbed Chelsea. So, and they're the two biggest clubs in London. So
calm yourself down. That last comment there.
It hurt. I know that it hurts you, but you haven't got trophies over the last 20 years.
You were doing well, but the whole biggest club thing, just relax there, please. Just scratch that.
All right,
yeah,
then.
that's
Second and third, whatever.
I know you want comfort in lies, Deji, yeah, but it's factual information.
Yeah, tell him, then.
Even West Ham are bigger than Spurs.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Lee, West Ham are massive, you know what I mean? It's one of those, isn't it?
No way.
Big, massive.
How many trophies has West Ham won in their history?
A little bit
Leave
less
West
than
Ham
you.
alone. Don't change the subject.
Yeah, but Deji, yeah. If you look at what you've bought, yeah, the biggest cup you've bought, yeah. It's actually a tin. It's called Mr. Sheen. Just to dust them dusty shelves you got in your trophy room. That's all I'm saying.
What trophy room?
That's what Wolfie, it's the broom cupboard. But you know what I mean? You can just about get him in there. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Right? In terms of Sesko, do you know what I think? Yeah, I think that both of our clubs, well, all of our clubs. By the way, Guilherme is a baller. Yeah, he is an absolute baller. Matty showed me that guy about 7-8 months ago, 6 months ago, something like that, and I was like, "Who's this guy?" Guilherme is a baller. Yeah, he is an absolute baller. Yeah, he will not be at West Ham long. Sorry to break it to you. Yeah, I don't want to be disingenuous. He is a really good player, mate. Right, but in terms of all of our clubs, because let's be real, London is clapped. Yeah, let's just be real with it. London is clapped. Right, in terms of Tesco, Sesko, Cisco, whatever, Fong, whatever his name is, yeah. Right? He can't even get in Leipzig's team week in, week out. Right? And the fact that all of our clubs that were in for him, Arsenal and Chelsea, our two clubs, there's a reason he didn't sign for both of us. And that reason is we can't close the door. Yeah, literally can't close the door. The only way Chelsea would have got him is if they'd thrown stupid money at him. Yeah, which we can't. Yeah, and Chelsea have a wage cap. They won't go above a certain amount. They're not going to overpay now because they've done that previous. And now they've got the wage cap. I think it's 150 a week is the max. Right? He was also angling to maybe get a renewal. He's on 67,000 euros a week at Leipzig. He can't even get in their team. So I don't know whether it's the fact that we both can't close the door, and we already know Eddie was useless, Jez. Right? Yeah. Can't blame Arteta on this one because he ain't the one closing the deal. It's Edu. Right? Chelsea, we also know they're useless. They couldn't close the door. Yeah, the only way they close the door is if they pay above and beyond what the value is, and they can't do that anymore. They had to sell hotels off to stay in financial fair play. So it was obvious he weren't going to either. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. But the problem he's got now, yeah, is let's say he goes and smashes it in the Euros. Let's say he breaks into the first team at Leipzig full time, yeah, and he kills it. Yeah, well, Chelsea ain't going in for him because they will not pay 150 a week because he's got a pay rise now. I think he's on about 90 now, right? 90,000 euros. Yeah, I think he's got 25
His wages and the release clause went up by about 23 mil as well.
Exactly. So that's now 80 mil. Well, you ain't going to pay that. We ain't going to pay that. Yeah, and let's just be real with it. Right, the way you lot play is sporadic. It's off key. You ain't got no style of play. Maybe Mascara is going to come in and he's going to sort it out. I don't know. Right, but with us, this guy does not suit Arsenal in the first place because this guy is a transition player. Yeah, he's not one that's going to stand in the penalty box, get very little touches, be physical. He's built like me, a shoelace. Yeah, he's basically Havertz with pace. That's it, right? So we know Havertz can't head a ball properly, right? We know that his first touch is not great, yeah, and he ain't got no pace. And if we had played Havertz up front, I know that Jed said that he went his position, it probably ain't. I don't even know what his position is. But if we hadn't wasted 20-odd games in midfield with him, we probably would have won the league. Yeah, let's be real with it. If we had played him up front, because he started scoring at the end, and that's conned everyone into thinking he's a good player. And that's maybe conned Arteta and Edu into thinking, well, do you know what? We won't go all in for Sesko. Yeah, because we've got Havertz, we've got Jesus, we can get rid of Eddie, we're going by a third striker that'll just be happy to sit on the bench, a youngster, yeah? Right, but if he has a good Euros and his release clause is what it is now, if he smashes it next season, yeah, all of a sudden he's getting better clubs than us anyway.
Well,
even though I don't rate him, I don't think he's any good, mate. But he don't fit Arsenal style. He fits you lot more than us.
Well, can I ask you a question, right? Because this is the one thing I don't get, and this is the one thing that kind of made me laugh when I heard about this. This guy, all through this season, it was all about Tony. It was all about Tony. You're going to wait for him to come off his band, and you're going to buy Tony. Tony. What flipped? What changed? Why is the narrative now popped to this Cisco dude? Like, what have you guys now seen in Tony that you guys?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. Yeah. Right now, I'll let everyone else go. Yeah. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Ivan Toney's nearly 27, or maybe he is 27. Put him on a 5-year deal, he's 32. There's no resale value. Yeah, no resale value. Sesko, yeah, is just turned 21. He shares your birthday, Jez.
Yep.
Yeah, shares your birthday, right? If he came to Arsenal and we actually got that deal over the line, which we can't because Edu's useless, not that I wanted him anyway, so it's probably for the best. Silver lining and all that. However, if he did come to Arsenal for 45, 50 mil and didn't really rip it up, well, we ain't paying that all the way up front because I don't think it was a buyout. And if it was, cool, we've paid it up front. But now what we'll do is we'll get 30-odd mil back. So we've only lost 10 mil. Yeah? Resale value. You ain't got no resale value with Ivan Toney. You ain't got no resale value with Dovbyk. Yeah, Dovbyk is an absolute baller. He is Erling Haaland with pace and tech. Well, not pace, tech, right? Because Haaland's got pace. He is a baller. 40 million euros for that guy. Whoever signs him this summer has got themselves an absolute bargain. That'll be the best signing in this transfer window. Yeah, for a striker, an out and out, because Mbappe's not, right? But with Tony, he's 27. Dovbyk's turning 27 this year, I think. Yeah, you've got no resale value, and this is the problem with our clubs, all of our clubs. We want resale value. We want to go down the young player, 21 to 23. If it don't really work out on a 4-year deal, you can still bin them off, still get most of your money back, the way they Mickey the books. Yeah, it show as a profit and all of this crap. Yeah, like the Di Maria deal when they sold him 20 million less than they bought him, etc., right? And you can sell him. If Ivan Toney comes to Arsenal, he can sit there and go, bollocks, I ain't going. Yeah, if it don't work. You ain't getting no resale on him. Who's going to buy it if it don't work?
It's money, man. It's money. There's no ambition anymore. It's just about the money, like you said.
But Ivan Toney is the one, yeah? Failing that, I want Dovbyk. Yeah, I've watched enough of that geezer, yeah, this season. I've watched pretty much all their games, yeah, maybe 90% of their games. He is unbelievable, mate.
Well, yeah, can I ask you guys about a player?
Ivan Toney's coming to my club.
Hang on. There's a player.
If he goes to your club, I'm going to find my Albanian G Granite, yeah, who's mates with him, yeah, and I'm going to say to him, that's it, he's dead to me, bro. My power is actually good mates with him.
Lee's organising hits, yeah. He's a dead man. No, but look, on a player as a striker that hasn't really been mentioned, and he's just been crowned the European champion. How do you say it, Tony? That old guy, the guy who plays for Atlanta, he's just won. He was a striker for them. The guy that scored at Liverpool.
Skamaka.
Yeah, Skamaka. He's 25. He's a kind of like target man, and he's just won a title, and he can be dangerous. Why isn't everyone hyping him up?
Because he's 4 years too old.
What, 25?
He's too old. Put him on a 5-year deal. He's 30. No resale value. They have to go for young players now. This is what we do. This is what the PRMA League is doing.
Yeah, true. But as
all of our clubs are doing this. They're all going for 20 to 23. In fact, Chelsea are going for 17s. Yeah.
Don't
Like-
remind me, all right? Just don't. It's
Yeah.
Epstein Island, like
But
you
this
said.
is what
It's
it is.
horrible.
It's now part of the game. Yeah. And it's also, and when I say the game, it's part of lowering the standards. I've got Don in a group chat, yeah, Greasy Don in a group chat, yeah, right, with Goonie and a few others, Said and Roms and a few others from Midday Live, yeah. He's trying to sell me this what's his name, Pedro Lima, yeah. And I'm like, bruv, nobody cares about Pedro Lima. If he was any good, this club would have signed him.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's be real with it. Yeah, now he's going to Strasbourg. Yeah, do me a favour, bruv. Yeah,
Bit of a difference there. Bit
that's
of a
what it
difference
is.
between Madrid and Strasbourg. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I think you're right about the resale value thing. It's a shame because I think if any team, I was saying to Northside earlier that, you know, he was telling me that, you know, Arsenal need to get rid of about 10 players and you got to spend 20, 30 mil. And I was like, no, if you've got deadwood, terminate their contracts, take the L. If they're not good enough, take the L, go in. You could even sell all 10 for 50 mil. I don't give a damn. Use that 50 mil and add some money to it and start bringing in players that you need. But all this resale value is why, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do get the impression from Arsenal that they're not ready. They don't want to win. In this last season, you had an opportunity to bring in 3 or 4 players in the January transfer window. You had your opportunity to take your missus to the Dorchester, and then you opted for the Dixie Fried Chicken down the road. You cost yourselves the league. You cost yourselves the league. It wasn't their fault. And then this season, same thing happened again. You could have gone in to go and get a decent striker. Didn't do it. You did the cheap thing. And then Arsenal fans shaking their bum violently. I just don't get it.
No,
For
Arsenal
me,
did a cheap thing though. That was the thing. They bought 65 million of dog shit, and I know that because we sold it to them.
Yeah,
So
but
this is what I
you're
don't
saying
get.
Arsenal have like done that and they're twerking their bums and they're doing this and that. So why do you see Arsenal as the benchmark? Because you said I would take it as long as Arteta pulls, for as long as Arteta has. Why are we the benchmark then if we're not doing it properly?
I'm using you guys as the benchmark in the sense of if you can give Arteta time, which is what your club has done, and let's be real, you've shown progress. And whether we like it or not, I know you're
gone
from
from winning to losing. How have they progressed?
Because whether you guys like it or not, the layman, the average football fan doesn't have the intellect that the panelists have. They are quite happy with finishing in the top 2 than a trophy. That's the truth. That's why, Lee, you're having battles, and Jez, you're having battles all the time because they're looking at you like you're madmen. Yeah, they're looking at you. You're crazy. Why are you getting upset? What's the big idea? Why are you bantering? Why are you doing all this little characterization? We were second. You should be proud of that. So because the majority of the fan base thinks like that, I'm saying to you, if Arsenal fans accept that, then who am I to say that if Tottenham show progress every season, then the cut-off point is 27-28, where there's no more progression more apart from winning the league. That's all it is. I'm just using the same logic and the same yardstick. So I'm not. Do you get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you've gone from 8th to 2nd, and every Arsenal fan that I see around me, they're pretty happy with that.
That's just most of them are fucking idiots,
They've
mate.
never seen Arsenal. The thing is, Deji, a lot of these people have never seen Arsenal win a Premier League. They've seen us win a few FA Cups. They've only recently seen us in Europe. I just quickly, right, give you a fact. This is a fact. If we sell 10 players or terminate 10 player contracts, right, yeah, we've got to replace a lot of players because the last time we seriously nearly won the league was at 2016 against Leicester City. Yeah, Arsenal, the only team to beat Leicester City twice. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We got to a quarter final in the Champions League. Right? Arsene Wenger used 42 players that season. I did my final Arsene Wenger history show last night. 42 players. Because in the League Cup, he used the youth. This man, our current manager, has no faith in the youth. Or is it we've got a shit youth squad? I don't know. I'm not qualified enough to talk about it. But the fact remains, if we terminate 10 contracts, and our bench is even weaker. You know,
I hear what you're saying, but those players on your bench are rubbish. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to do nothing.
Well,
So
the
you've
thing
got
is,
to replace them. You've got to replace them. You know. And yet, I was on a show last week, right? Yeah, with Egal saying, "Oh, we'll get well if we spend 60 to 100,000 pounds in the youth." I was like, "What? 60 to 100,000 pounds on a youth squad? Are you mad?
well, no, but hang on,
100,000 on one player in the first team, like maybe a striker. Yeah, I mean, you can't make it up at times. I'm thinking, this is what winds me up. I'm thinking, where are you coming from? Making these ridiculous statements.
It's people that don't know football, and on what you were saying a minute ago. And the thing is, obviously, this is the thing with modern Arsenal fans, the younger generation, the 20-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, like you guys have said, and I know Lee said this in the past. You haven't seen Arsenal win big trophies.
It's not even the 20-year-olds. Yeah, we've gone 20 years without winning a title. So for you to remember winning a title, you've got to be at least 25.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? The taste of success, Lee, you know what I mean? That never fades, man. That never fades.
Success, you've got to be in your 30s or mid-30s now. Early to mid-30s. Yeah. Myself, I'm 42, just turned, right? I've seen Arsenal win 17 trophies in my lifetime. And I started supporting 36 years ago. So that's nearly one every 2 years. Yeah. And I've seen us lose 9 finals. You as a Chelsea fan, have just seen constant success, plus loads of losing finalists. Yeah. Right? Poor Deji, bless him, has seen his team win what? 4
He
trophies?
don't know. He don't know what success is.
What do you mean? I was just picking up the Carabao Cup in 2008.
That's a club that you really acknowledge.
You have to be in your 30s to have seen constant success at Arsenal. Yeah, and constant success at Chelsea. Right? Jez has obviously seen it. He's an older guy. Tone, he supports West Ham, but he's seen this trophy last, or the season before last. And Deji's seen 4 trophies, but he hasn't. Neither of them two have seen constant success. We, of all 3 of us, have seen constant success. But the problem is, they don't give a shit about us. They don't want us as fans. Why are all of our clubs going to America on tour this summer?
Exactly.
Money.
Yeah.
Why aren't we going to Nigeria, bruv? We've got a massive following in Nigeria and Kenya. All of our clubs. Nigeria and Kenya, we've got massive following, you know. There's not that much money compared to America, is there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We've gone to America 3 or 4 years straight, Jez. Yeah. We're playing Liverpool and Man United, I think, in America.
Yeah.
Last year we played Chelsea in America.
And Wrexham. Don't forget about Wrexham.
Wrexham.
The Hollywood team. You got to remember, they're the Hollywood team.
Yeah, but this is the point. It's like all of our clubs, unless you're in your mid-30s, you've not seen constant success at Arsenal or Chelsea. Right? So that's who they're marketing to. Now with this new TikTok brain mentality of 10-second, oh my God. Yeah, I'm just replying to some idiot, that first time I've been on Twitter in about 30 hours. Yeah, this guy's just spamming my comments where I put out about win the dog toy. Yeah, he's put loads. He's spammed my comments. Yeah, with Man City with a chimpanzee, toy, and Real Madrid with a white grizzly bear toy. Yeah, right. So I've replied. I'm quoting it as we speak. Do both of them clubs have a real life version strolling around their training ground? Shitting everywhere. Yeah. Do they have a real life version in the official team photos? Do both of them clubs go 4 years without winning, but keep the manager and renew him to a new contract? No, they fucking don't. So what's your point?
Exactly.
Thank you. So what's your point? Yeah, this is what they want. They want the dumbest people that roam the earth, and we know that Arsenal fans are infested, like most of them. Yeah, we know Man United are infested, Tottenham are infested. Yeah, Chelsea are going down that way.
Yeah, of course we are.
Well, I'm having conversations with Chelsea fans that have grown up on Roman Abramovich era. They're going, well, we couldn't really compete. It was the longest we'd gone without a title under Abramovich. Bro, you went to 6 finals in 14 months.
And lost all.
You lost 3 out of the 6. You won 3 and you lost 6.
No, we've been to Wembley 6 times in a row, mate, and lost.
Yeah, but under Tuchel in 14 months, you won 3 and lost 3. But you won the big years, brother. My club has won 15, right? But of Arsenal,
you were talking as an Arsenal fan. You don't get to do that. Shift it. No, that's too shifty.
No, but real talk. real talk though, yeah. Your club went to 6 finals in 14 months under Tuchel. Bowley comes in. You've just been to 6 finals in 14 months. You sack him. You strip the bare bones back. Get rid of every single fibre of Roman Abramovich's Chelsea. Yeah. And now you've got the majority 2 years later gnawing off, what's his name? Kendry Paez. He's shit, bruv. If he was any good, Madrid sign him. Yeah. This what's his name? Lima. He's shit. If he was any good, Madrid sign him.
Kennedy Perez.
To be fair, the one player that I do rate is Guilherme, and if he smashes it in the Premier, is at Madrid in 2 seasons. Yeah.
Wait, so the thing we've done on that, Lee, we've actually put in a 20% sell-on clause. That's the best thing West Ham have done in years.
Wait, just to answer this, by the way, because Lawrence just said, "You're welcome, Wolfie. $1 billion bottle jobs." Not necessarily, because if you actually
tell him.
No, bang on. But if you actually want to look at what that billion, it was actually to redo the finances of the clubs, because, like Lee said with the hotel thing earlier, we had a lot of problems financially under Abramovich that he kept hush hush, maybe with Russian gangster money, who knows, but. It's one of those things we had to drop our wage bill, because our wage bill dropped from 6.5 million to 4.4 million a week. And as Lee's just quite rightly said as well, not a single Chelsea player is on above 140 grand a week. Not Enzo Fernandez, not no one. In terms of wages, we probably spend less than now Liverpool. We definitely spend less than Arsenal, because the only player now we've got is on 200k plus is Lukaku, and he's dead man walking at Chelsea. So... We'll see. It's interesting.
You've entered Spurs territory there with that wage bill, 150 grand a week. I'm just saying, welcome.
Yeah, man. We've gone from money talks to bullshit definitely walks. Yeah. But look, we're going to round it up because it's a late one. Big up to Mr. Lee Gunner. Thank you for coming on my stream as well. It's the first time I've had you on a big up, man. You humbled me with that one. Thank you. But my original fan list, obviously, please drop Early Doors TV a like, obviously, and a link and a sub. I'll do it in a minute when I just quickly resort my shit out from work. I'll drop it in the chats. But yeah, obviously, Jezza, thank you very much. The Arsenal Slayer, Mr. Van Helsing himself. and I said this on Lee stream. It's actually nice to two of my favourite North London content creators have joined me on this stream. So I got a lot more than I bargained for on that one. Thank you very much. Big up to all the beautiful people in the chat. I'm sorry. I apologize if I've not read out everyone's comments in a long time, but literally they've gone been like since Lee's joined. So it's just been, thanks, Lee. You've not only confused me and dumbfounded me and buried me, you've also given me a lot to do. So thanks, man. But big up to everyone. Look, we're going to end it there. Thank you, everyone, for your time. We're going to say goodnight. Hopefully, if Lee wants to join us, because we're going to do another one of this in a couple of weeks. If Lee wants to join us, would you want to join us, Lee? We'll have it, the 5 of us again. You up for that?
Depends when it is, because I ain't even seen my missus' birthday is on the 24th. I ain't even seen her. So, flat out, man. Copper America, Euros, regular streams. Yeah, I'm getting no sleep. I'm not seeing beach. I'm not seeing pool. I went to the pool today and there was no water in the pool, so I walked straight back up. I was like, "What am I?"
Yeah, that's true. I see you actually on Insta as well. And you're sitting in the man's
why am I paying my rent, mate? There's no water in the pool.
That's crazy.
That's mad. But look, thank you, everyone.
5 in then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Anyway. Hala Madrid. Yeah, Hala Madrid. We just sue top Spurs for wearing white, mate. It's a disgrace to the club.
We're back to rep. We've got a lot more blue on this season, so let's see if that gives us any luck.
Lee, my mate's sitting next to me. He's gone, has Lee jumped ship? Because I'm seeing him wearing an Arsenal. No, he's always supported Madrid. His loans become permanent. It was a here we go earlier, apparently. Fabrizio Romano style, you know what I mean? But big up to him. Big up to everyone else as well.
Yeah, big up to the chat as well.
Yeah, big up everyone. It's been a very, very, very great stream. And we're out of here, people. Stay safe and hasta la vista. In a bit.